Hi, this is Dreaming Sheep, and welcome to episode 23 of Sheep's Nearly Vanilla Experience. So, I wanted to give an update on the house. No, you can't even see it on the minimap up there. That's good. I'm going to switch camera views just to pre-warn you. It's a little bit dull because there's nothing around it. It's just a building at the moment with no character or life to it. But there it is. It is very monotone or duotoned, I guess. A lot of plain walls and a nice black roof, which from the top I think looks amazing. I absolutely love how this roof has come out. It has taken longer than I expected, but that's probably because I put a lot more detail in than I expected to. Like this part of the roof down here didn't exist. I actually had to sort of cutting down here. It sort of went down where this roof is and then down here where this is, and it was just a chunk. Didn't look very good. I think this worked out. It's not my first choice of slate tile kind of effect that I'm going for, but the original basalt I wanted to use is not compatible with chisel, which is fun and annoying. Other than that, there's quite a lot of fine detail. I've actually gone underneath here, so there's a bit of a fascia. Can't remember what they're called. It's not sills, but yeah, it's not just to the edge. There's a bit of character. There's some little square bits here. I'd love to put a little gargoyle or something on it, but I think it's too small a patch, so we'll see if I ever get around to that. Other problems I've had: one, this lovely bowing out section that looks so much better than it was before has caused a problem for two reasons. One, I messed up this rear extension because I didn't extend at the top. So over here, the wall comes up and then it goes out one block to meet the roof. Whereas here, it just went straight up. And it was a little bit too late for me to redo because I'd have to redo this entire roof and I couldn't be bothered. So coming into this corner, because this juts out to here, I've kind of had to figure out how to do this. And I'll be honest, I kind of like the way it looks, apart from the fact that this is a little bit messed up over here. Also, flight is way too fast now. So let's just clean this up. That'll do for now. Let's double check. Yeah, I need to put one there. And then if I just grab this one, I always get the cloud and the concrete confused because the cloud actually looks more kind of solid white than the concrete white does. But yeah, at least that's fixed. And then yeah, this comes out and overhangs just like the other sides. You'll also notice that we now have some windows or temporary placements for windows. But yeah, going into the building, we have an Enderman. We still have this door that I really want to keep, even though it doesn't really fit the location, the purpose maybe. I will remove or change the sandstone. That's something to mention. Oh, I put some lava lamps in. A different type of lava lamp, and now I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't mind trying to make a lava lamp, but you can see these little lava bits underneath the floor down the central channel, and it does actually light up the entire room, which is amazing. I will figure out some way of incorporating it into this room as well, which, as you can tell, has a kitchen sink in it so far, and nothing else, but we'll get there. Things are happening. I've done nothing on this side other than obviously putting the ceiling in, which we were not planning on doing, but is definitely a thing now. Coming up the stairs, the second floor of elevation is gone. And there's a good reason for it. I felt it dug into the ceiling or the roof too much, and then this entire layer of the house was then unusable effectively. It would have been where the ceiling layer is. So I'll get this up and I'll get it to curve around here and into these sections and build around it somehow. Haven't figured it out yet, but I'm sure we'll manage. Then upstairs from there, there's normally a mob or two, but because we have temporary non-existent windows, it's lighting it up a little bit, so it's not too bad. But there'll be something up here. I don't know what yet. And I'll probably use something like an elevator to get up. I was tempted to kind of try and build a loft ladder that comes down, but because it wouldn't be retractable, I just think it's going to take up too much space. So we'll see about that. I haven't decided yet. There is another lava lamp down in the block underneath this clear glass, which is lighting up this area. Just a little bit. You can see it emanating from there, coming out. I don't think mobs can actually spawn on these cloud blocks, so I haven't seen anything up here. So I'm not too bothered, but still, a bit of light's always a good thing. I was thinking about flying over to another point. Actually, we may as well, because if I'm talking about it, we need to really do it properly. But if we go back to the Spectre Cube, we still have a problem. This is still failing to load whenever I rejoin this server. I still have to come over, break the beacon and replace it. So far I've tried moving the beacon with a piston. Didn't work. I moved the power cell that's underneath with the piston. Didn't work. So they can both be moved. They just don't switch back on. And then, actually, I wonder if that's the reason. No, I think that stayed the same. I then experimented with placing like block breakers into a block placer and putting it down. And both of there's actually two block breakers in the pack now. So we have the open blocks and the random things ones. Open blocks makes no attempt to remove the beacon. The random things ones, the random things block breaker attempts to remove it. However, it doesn't do anything to it. It just leaves it there, but plays a breaking sound. I thought, well, if I can get something else to break it, let's see if the block placer will work. So I put a block placer down there, placed the beacon, and then I couldn't break the beacon because it placed it as a, I think it was open blocks, placer. Yeah, open blocks, fake player, or I think it's open blocks, fake this. Yeah, so that didn't work either. The only way I could actually fix that was to go into creative and destroy the beacon and replace it, which I know can seem cheaty, but you know, it's my beacon. It was there. It's not like I've edited it in and out or something. But yeah, it's still not working. So I'm a little bit tempted to move it into the overworld, just to see if it's this dimension causing the problem potentially. I don't know if it's maybe not loading up properly. I could try a different chunk loader potentially, but yeah, I don't really know what's happening. It might be that the spot loader from Chicken Chunks doesn't load dimensions, whereas the chunk loader does. So something to figure out. But I think that's pretty much the update for now. That's where we are. Oh, something I didn't cover because I covered it previously while my microphone was muted. Thank you, Blue Yeti, for having a terrible mute button. I do plan on adding a lot of wood facading to the building, just like you would expect on a typical Tudor mansion. So expect this to be a lot more detailed and less kind of just a solid blank canvas of a building. I actually found, like, I was in here earlier today before I added like these individual slots, and it just felt like it was a house in like a 3D modeling piece of software that had no detail added to it, and it was really boringly dull. And I still kind of get that feeling like down here. If I do that, it's just like, oh look, here's a blank random building you can kind of look at and see through and maybe want to do something with. So yeah, lots of work needs to be done. I'm not certain about the window height, or maybe I need to move or change windows, because obviously this kind of removes the option of putting a lot of things down, just because if it's like too high, it's going to block a window. If it's one high, it might look a little bit odd next to the window. Things to figure out. But yeah, we will get there, and it's definitely progressing, which is, I think, the most important thing really. If I had made no progress and I wasn't sure what I was doing, I'd be a lot more worried. Sorry, I just really want these bones. So let's kill some skeletons. Oh yeah, there we go. That was quick, dirty, easy. Did I pick it up? I did. A lot of my mob drops are now going into my dank now, the other dank now. You can see they're in here now. Just because they kept filling out my inventory. You can see I don't have much space in here generally at the moment. The chisel and bits kind of takes over your inventory a lot. And there's a couple of extra things I can maybe get rid of, but you know, yeah. Final thing before we switch this recording, all of this granite will be changed into another block. I haven't quite figured out how I'm doing the inside of this room. I am still tempted to kind of angle it up, much like we have in that room. I can't remember if you've seen it recently. I don't feel like we've been up here this episode, but to have a more angled roof like this, is this a single block each? It is. Yeah, it might give me more headroom, but the problem with it is it gets really difficult to know where you can place things and where you can't place things, because it might look like there's a block space, but there isn't. So yeah, things to figure out. But currently this feels like a proper loft space, just because it's a little bit cramped. You can walk around and get into little places and maybe go on your hands and knees, or like modded Minecraft version of hands and knees and go as a little fairy to get in here. So yeah. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, I've never seen a spider from this angle. Hello, bye bye. So yeah, I'll be back. I don't know if it's worth me trying to film all the building that goes on here, just because it's a lot of like, oh, I'll try this, and if that doesn't work, I'll try this type of thing. And I think it's going to take far too long as a recording, and we'd be potentially looking at like 10 episodes just to make a house. The time I've spent just like doing the edges on this roof is probably about 2 episodes worth at least. Actually, probably more, probably closer to 3 episodes worth of time. So yeah, I don't think you really want to spend that entire episode doing that. Something that would be really nice, if you don't mind, is to leave a comment down below and suggest some things I could put on the outside of the house. Like I'm considering putting like a big archway in here instead of having just a plain wall, and you know, maybe some taps and fairy lights up in the like ceiling area up here. I don't really know how I would do ceiling like fairy lights, but I really like the idea of it, having like just things wrapped around with lights on them. It could be nice, but yeah, that's a big project for another day that's not today. So yeah, we'll be back pretty shortly when I've made some more progress on whatever I'm doing next. I haven't really decided yet. So see you soon. So I kind of figured it might be time for an update. As you can see, I've done a bit more work. Yeah, a lot of detailing around the house slash mob farm. Hey. Nothing's really changed on the inside apart from what I'm not able to show you right now because of mobs. Oh, hello, I didn't see you up there. I've added a little sort of glass balustrade, and you can see I rounded the edge and then actually added the sort of white concrete on the inside here. I just feel that finishes it off a little bit. I like this contrast between the wood and the concrete. I haven't quite finished anything with this balustrade just yet. Mostly because I'm still not 100% certain what's happening with these stairs. Hey you. Yeah, you can go away. I'm as much as I like the idea of this being outside the house, I don't think it's really going to work. It's going to be too hard to integrate into like the design of the building. So yeah, it might end up coming back in somehow. But how that would be, I don't know. Lots of things to figure out on the inside. On the outside, you can see I've done like chunks of the lower half so far and the upper half, all these little like bits up here. That wasn't too difficult to do. All I did was grab a positive design, made a copy of one, and then just moved along. I did use additive, otherwise it completely messes up the corners in here. But it's literally just going all the way around, making sure I have enough wood, and then grabbing the wood and drawing this size. With the draw region, all you do is right click where you want it to start and hold right click, and when you let go, it places it in. This is just because I've run out of the wood again. I'm running on like 3 bags now, and this one's like getting close to half full, so I'm trying not to fill it up too much. I haven't done much anywhere else. I've done the corners, the inside corners. I've just done that before filming, and yeah, I'm getting lots of lag for some reason. But the front, you can see I've done a lot more work. This has actually taken a surprisingly long time because most of this is done by hand, like 1 pixel at a time. So I'm just grabbing like a pixel and kind of going across and then across. Actually, let's do this properly. So like that, and then once it's sort of sealed up against the ceiling, I can fill in this area with something like a connected pane. Pane or plane? Plane. There we go. So it's not like terrible to do, but it does still take quite a long time because I have to draw every angle and then fill it in. And it does go all the way up under the ceiling, which is a little bit more of a challenge because it's hard to get the angles on placement. I'm not sure about the gray, or it's not really acacia, it's black wood, I think. Yeah, black stained planks. I think I wanted something darker, but yeah, I'm not sure. Replacing it won't be too difficult. All I need to do is make a chisel and bits block, and then like destroy it and sort of put something on replace mode. So actually, let me just show you. Let's just grab the dirt and we do this and we go same material and then just right click and it does the entire patch like that. That has done additive, which I didn't want to do. If I do it as a replace instead of place, you can see it just swaps it over. So if I get something black, that won't take too long. I'm just going to fly around the entire house right clicking for a little while. Sorry, I'm having fun killing mobs. Oh, hello. Haven't seen a baby one of you for a while. Next thing I've done is randomly gotten dragon eggs all over the place. There's about 4 of them. I don't actually know where the other 2 are just yet. Hopefully, oh yeah, there they are. I was going to say down below, and that looks like 1 there and 1 there. I was going to say that's not another one. That would make 5. That's a sheep or a pig. Yeah, I moved my dragon egg mills from down here and here into the house. So there's some of the first bits to really go in there other than the kitchenette type couple of blocks. They're in this room for now. There is 6 of them and there is glass stopping me from going in there. It needs to be made a little bit more pretty, let's be honest. But you'll also see 6 of these are generating 950 GP, which for anyone that has played extra utilities before, that is not actually that much. It's a lot, don't get me wrong. And if it wasn't for the cobble gen using 780 sort of grid power, that would actually be more than most people would ever use. The downfall of this is before the power sort of effectiveness loss became a thing, these 6 would have produced 3,000 instead of 950. Yeah, the last 2 that I made today only added 25 each instead of the 500 that they would normally do. So it's quite a big drop in, I guess efficiency is the right word. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff that I wish I had because I could make that room different instead of having to be that full. Yeah, just one of those things. I will make it a lot more pretty. I'll try to make it a lot more interesting. Maybe even drop these down into the ground so we just have the dragon eggs instead. But this will be like a trophy room and we'll make sure no one can get in there, even though you can just go through glass. But yeah, we'll figure it out. What else have we done? We have done one more thing. This is my current work in progress. Other than the house itself, I'm trying to make like a stone entranceway, and this is with brownstone. You do get various types of it. Where was it on here? Down here. So this is raw brownstone. Uses any type of sandstone and clay, and then once you put it into chisel, you can select different types of it. I originally wanted to go with the half weathered. But it gives like a dark bottom and a light top, which doesn't like connect. It's not like a connected texture. So you end up with like this dark to light, dark to light, dark to light, and it just doesn't look right. So yeah, I went brownstone instead. Looks a lot like a sort of weathered concrete, which is what I was after. I'm just struggling with the front bit here. I want to make this more like a point down the middle. and still having that arch that's there, because I feel it's out the way, but it's still detailed enough that you notice it. Like if we were coming from spawn, you can still quite clearly see that arch. I just don't want it to be one big square arch. I want it to kind of curve in, but I can't quite get my head around it just yet. So yeah, hopefully the next update I give will have that completed over there, as well as probably this part of the wall. I haven't figured out what pattern to put on there yet. It'll probably similar to the tops or the sides up here. Yeah, just because that tends to be how they're done, really. Maybe I can do like a big square and have like a diagonal kind of like square on the inside. I know what I mean. Hard to explain, but basically have like, so we'd have, where's a drawn area? We'd grab this and we do this to do a single, and then we can just grab a single, this is on, and sort of replace, which is not really what I wanted it to do. And I could do something like that, and then like go all the way out down to here, here, and then come back down to here, and have some sort of square design there, and then figure out something maybe more decorative around the door. But yeah, still lots to figure out and do, really. It's going to take me a while. This has taken a good couple of hours to do just this front. So yeah, I'm also considering putting some wood across the front of this, and then I can just put normal glass inside here. I've been playing around with different glass types because I did want the kind of like sash window or leaded window look, but I don't like the glass that's in the pack, I'll be honest with you. Sort of looking at these ones down here, that I don't like the crosshatch in there. This one is almost exactly what I want, but it creates a connected texture, which ruins it for me, unfortunately. I just want like a bar up the middle, bars around the edge, and that's it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, progress is being made. It's definitely starting to look more like a house. If anyone ever denied that, I think there would be something definitely wrong with them. But yeah. Right. I think we might actually be close to the end of an episode anyway. What I might do, I'm going to see what part of this I can finish, and then we'll do a final update. Or no. We're going to call it. We're at probably 22 minutes. I can't remember how long the original recording was. That's what the black thing on the floor was. It was a cow. But yeah, we're far enough in that I think if we do our enchanting that we haven't done yet, we can call it a day. So first one in, what have we got? Blast protection. I will take it. I'm going to actually try and organize these so I don't have to try and remember what order they were. Unbreaking projectile. Let's see if we get anything else. Being really cruel at not giving anything extra. Ooh, feather falling. I'll take that, even though I don't really need it. Bane of arthropods I definitely do not want. And, ooh, thorns. Thorns or protection and protection. But yeah, it's been really horrible about not giving like multiple enchantments. I thought that was a thing. Maybe they've gotten rid of it somehow, or one of the mods has. But let's pop these in here. There we go. That is today's enchanting. Not really much interesting there. One more day. So I think next episode we will finish up the exterior of the house. It's going to take quite a while to get this completely finished, and then we will finish the enchanting books as well, and we can start making a move on the inside and another build, which is probably already finished if I was completely honest, but you haven't had a chance of seeing, so we'll go over and have a look at it. I'll probably move it to somewhere more useful because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, just so it can be used but will never be on camera. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the episode. Feels a little bit scattered and I apologize. So hopefully it's not too bad. Please leave a like down below if you have liked. Obviously comment if you have any suggestions. Tell me what you think about the color of the wood potentially. You know, if you like it, tell me. If you dislike it, yeah, tell me too. I won't be too offended. Or if you have any suggestions on what color I could go to, I'll be open to that. I'm thinking browns and blacks though, just for natural kind of wood colors. I really wanted a proper ebony, but yeah, couldn't find it. So take care, and until next week, have fun. Bye bye.